that can make a point and educate them, ask them to focus on that. And then there should be a media where any objection is made should be brought to their attention. Unless you go and research, you don't find right now.
I see. So there's no concrete solution at this stage
No.
For the issue.
Correct.
Assalamu alaikum. I have a question. Why we should study this thing, how Quran came into existence and all that? This was 1500 years ago. Now this modern age, we have everything printed and in a nice way. So why we need to know that when Quran came into existence and how it is arranged and who did all these things, Arabs and all that. So what is its relevance in today's time?
Now, Absab, that's an excellent question. It's a very good question. But people that have listened to my presentation should be able to answer that. If you don't, I did not do a good job of explaining. Who would like to volunteer and answer that question? I did cover that. So I would like to see if the audience will.
Brother Jamal has some comment.
Assalamu alaikum. The whole purpose of this exercise is that there are conspiracies that are going around that try to propagate the idea that Quran is changed over the time, and at least having this much knowledge will give some basis for us to do more research and make sure that we have enough knowledge to counter such an argument. I think that's the main purpose of the presentation. I hope I'm right.
Sister Farzana also. Here we go. Mine doesn't work.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. I will be addressing this towards the youth more. Non-Muslims discuss Quran and Islam and why we are Muslims and why we do this and why we do that, etc., etc., etc. If you don't know anything about the Quran, you don't know how it was compiled, you don't know anything about the background and the different tafasirs, you won't be able to answer and convince the non-Muslim group who is questioning you. And they do ask you questions, your teachers do, your peers do, and even sometimes people, when they are in the mall, people will stop and ask, why do you wear a hijab, why do you do this, why do you do that? So if you don't have any information and any knowledge about it, you will not be able to answer the question and convince the other party who is looking for answers to help them understand why we as Muslims do certain things certain ways. So it is important for us to know how the Quran was compiled, because different accusations are there, why it was done in such a way. True, it was revealed more than 1400 years ago, but that Quran is still valid and will be valid until the Day of Judgment. And we need to have that information, be armed with that knowledge to be able to talk to non-Muslims and convince them about the validity of the Quran itself, inshallah.
Excellent answer.
I think first I think was Quran is maker of Bismillah. First, I am supposed to be the Quran is maker of Wazi, but if we read Quran, first surah is Surah Fatiha. So why not Quran is maker is the first one?
I think I touched on that. The first 5 verses of Surah Al-Quran were revealed. Those were the first ones to come down. Yet in the Quran, Surah Fatiha is there, which was revealed later on. It came down in entirety as a surah. That is how, that was the divine instruction. That is what Angel Jibreel alayhi salam was telling Prophet Muhammad, that this is part of this. This will come in the beginning. This will come later. So there was that. And then I think I also mentioned that sometimes it causes confusion for us because not having the entire background, we sometimes get confused because the verses, the translation does not make sense. But people that do an in-depth study, they say that the best tafsir is in reference to the Quran itself. And there again, sometimes we just take one verse and we say, this is what Quran says, this is what it is in the Quran. They say that before making that, you have to do the research and find out where all it has come and what the intent is, and then make it. there are several people that have, particularly the Orientalists, they have, see how far they go. They're not Muslims. What they did was they tried to group on the basis of the historical, and then they came up with this version. They said, first this was revealed, so let's put that surah there. Second, this was revealed, put that one there. Third one. And even some of the Muslim scholars, they have tried to do that, not thinking that that would give them more sense, but they have tried to look into that. Dr. Isar Ahmad, again, I talk about in one of his khutbah, he said when he was growing up, when he was a younger person, he tried to do that.
We have a comment from sister side.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be taking up all the... True, the Quran is not compiled according to the way it was revealed, but the interesting part is, why is Surah Fatiha the first surah in the Quran? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making a dua on behalf of us people, because the Quran addresses everybody, not just Muslims, it addresses everybody. So he is making a dua on our behalf and is asking, he is telling us what to ask, that is to lead us on the path which is Sirat al-Mustaqim, and not to put us in with those group of people that he is angry with, but to put us with that group of people, غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ آمِينَ, to put us with that group of people who are muttaqi, who he is pleased with. And then the question comes, why is Qul A'udhu Birabbin Nas and Qul A'udhu Birabbil Falaq, the last two ayahs, last two surahs, even though they are not, again, it is kind of a dua that he's teaching us to make, and that is upon the completion, upon the reading of the Quran, that we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his mercy from the whisperers and the Satan, shaitan, and all of that, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I just want to bring two comments here. The Quran is not revealed as a book as the Bible and the Torah is revealed. For example, Moses went to the Mount Tur and bought the tablets. So this is not the Quran has revealed. Quran is revealed based on the events, based on the requirement of the societies. So one ayah from here, one ayah from there. One ayah from here based on the situations. Then whenever the ayah is revealed, Prophet used to say to their companions who used to write that this ayah goes here, this ayah goes here. And every Ramadan, Jibreel comes to Prophet and recite the Quran, entire Quran. So whatever we have is the exact format what Prophet has revealed to us. Second point, second comment I want to give that we will hear that Quran has forged from the Bible and the Torah, because they have the story there, we also have the story there. So what is the right story? First of all, we have to understand what is the reason of revealing the Quran first. What is the reason? We have the Injil, we have the Torah as a guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then what is the purpose of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring the Quran? Anybody? The purpose of the reason of the Quran that we lost the message, we lost the Tawheed. Some people taken that Isa as the son of God, Jews taken the Uzair as the son of the God. We have the stories, but the message has got changed. So Allah has to bring his final testament. Allah subhanahu has to bring the final testament. And another name of the Quran is Al-Furqan. Furqan means who distinguishes between the right and the wrong. So you have the stories.